Hello everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, The Movie Canon. We are live, and this is the Met Report, a show about movies, entertainment, and television news. Today I'm being joined by my brother, Matthew.
Hello.
Okay, so there was a bit of a delay again to start the stream because I'm using Streamlabs, and Streamlabs always seems to have some kind of a problem. And hopefully this will be the last time that I use Streamlabs, because I'm going to start using StreamYard as of tomorrow. I'm doing a live stream tomorrow night, and I'll give you guys more details about that in just a bit. One of the issues that I had right now is, again, trying to display the chat. So I don't think I'm going to be able to display the chat for you guys. I'll read them, but I won't actually be able to show them on the screen. Once I start the streams with StreamYard, like I said, then you'll be able to see them. So this should be the last time that you guys cannot see your chat. But thank you everyone who is watching right now. And before we get started, let me just tell you what we're going to talk about here today, and then I'll look at the chat. Okay, so I'm doing my top 10 movies of 2023. I call it Millennial versus Gen Z list. I have my list. Matthew has his list. So that's what we'll be doing. I also have like 5 honorable mentions. Matthew has like 2 honorable mentions. And a little disclaimer that I'll say right now is that I didn't watch every single 2023 movie. Obviously, it's kind of not practical to watch absolutely everything, but I do watch a lot of movies. I've always been a big fan of movies and film and stuff like that, so I do watch a lot every year. And then I have AMC A-List, not being sponsored, and it's kind of easier and cheaper for me to go to movies often. So there you go. But Matthew has not been able to watch as many movies as me, so his list is gonna look a little different, but it's still his own perspective as a Gen Zer, right, Matthew?
Yep.
So and then guys, if you guys can let me know if there's any issues with the picture, with the sound, let me know so I can try to fix it as best I can anyway. So there we go. And then also, I'm debuting this today. I'm calling it Mystery Funko Pop Giveaway. I'm gonna try this entire month under the Met Report. So the way this works is I'm going to reveal at the end a Funko Pop giveaway for the ones who are watching live, and you're a subscriber to the YouTube channel, The Movie Canon, or you are following the Instagram page. I'll give you some instructions as to how to actually officially enter while you're here live. But I'll give away one Funko today. I'm going to do it again next Saturday, the following Saturday. I'm going to try this for the entire month of January. See how that goes. If it goes well, then I'll do it as a permanent thing for the Met Report. Another giveaway that I'm doing is Thrawn Funko from the Ahsoka series, and this one will be announced at the end of the month, and this one will require minimum entries like I normally have, so I'll reveal the winner at the end of the month, again, as long as you're a subscriber, follower, and all that stuff. So that was it. And then also, as I mentioned just a couple seconds ago here, Figures Talk, the Figures Talk segment, at least for now, will no longer be under the Met Report. It will be its own show starting tomorrow night, Sunday. I'm going to have the very first episode of the Figures Talk show. And I have a couple of guests already lined up here. And then hopefully they're able to make it to that. But it's tomorrow night, January 7th, 8:30 Pacific time. I will debut the Figures Talk episode 1 show. And this date and time is not a permanent thing yet. I'm testing dates and times out for this Figures Talk show. It may stay as Sunday night, or it may be Tuesday or Friday. So for now, for the first episode, it's going to be tomorrow, Sunday night, 8:30 Pacific time. So go ahead and watch live. And we have Reverse Zio, Carlos, and Mr. Yomo, Zach. They're going to be my guests in the very first episode of Figures Talk. So check that out. It's already scheduled on my channel, so you can just go there and click to be notified if you're interested for the Figures Talk show. And let me see if there's anything else I wanted to mention here. Oh, let's go over the chat real quick. Okay, so again, like I said, I can't display it, so I'm very sorry about that. After today, I'll be able to do that. Okay, so we have Mr. Some Guy says, "What's up, my favorite people?" So how you doing there, Some Guy? Thank you so much for dropping by. Let me look at the more accessible little chat thing here. Let's see here. We have Deborah Rastelli saying, "Hey everyone." Hello there, Deborah. I know you're always on our chat or in the stream, so thank you. Mr. Kuso is in the house as well. How you doing, Mr. Kuso? I know you've won a few times, so you're one lucky guy. So if you won several giveaways like in the last 2 weeks, so there you go. Deborah Rastelli says, "Anyone else expecting a lot of snow today?" Okay, that's something else. Okay, so just because I already read the question, I'm in SoCal, so we don't get snow. And I know you're asking other people in the chat, not necessarily us. But actually, we did get snow last February for the first time, at least in my lifetime. We got snow for a couple hours. And of course, I recorded it because that was some crazy stuff. Let's see here. Yomo is here. It says, "Yo, what's up, everyone? How you doing, Yomo?" Like I mentioned, Yomo will be in my first episode of Figures Talk tomorrow night. Let's see. Matthew says hello. So Matthew's right next to me, so I'm saying hello to you guys. Let's see. And Deborah Rastelli saying 11:30 Eastern time. Yes. It's kind of late, especially for you guys. It's actually kind of late for me because I do work Monday. But and the reason why I'm doing it so late, I'll tell you guys during this show, because there's a specific reason why I'm doing it kind of late. Let's see here. I think that's it. I think we're caught up with the chat. I think the rest of the chats are just amongst yourselves. So, all right. So I think we're gonna go ahead and get started here. Then this cable getting stuck in my jacket. Okay. So, top 10 movies of 2023. Like I said, I'm doing 5 honorable mentions plus my top 10. Matthew's doing 2. So, and then also what I'm gonna do first is I did these 3 movies. This one is called Most Surprisingly Good Movie of 2023, and this is the movie Past Lives. And this is a movie that was surprising to me because I was kind of interested in watching it in theaters, but I wasn't entirely sure. So, I mean, I still watched it because I was interested enough, and then I watched the movie, and it's actually pretty good. It's a character study about this relationship that these characters that you see on screen, and it just kind of takes you to what different roads and pathways you would take depending on certain circumstances and decisions that you make and stuff like that. So it was a good movie. So it was surprisingly good. So that's why I have that here. And then I know, Matthew, you haven't seen this movie, but my most disappointing movie of 2023, which should not be much of a surprise for a lot of you guys, I would think, is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And not that I was necessarily expecting something like Endgame or Infinity War or anything like that, but I was curious because we had Kang as the main villain, in an Ant-Man movie, and then they go into the quantum realm. So I was interested in this. I was hoping it would be really good. So I guess that was my fault for having these expectations. But to me, that was the most disappointing movie of 2023. And Matthew, just very quickly, any thoughts on this movie?
Yeah, I thought it was. I liked it at first, but like the more it just went on, I was just like, dang, this is not it. So
It's not it. Yeah. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on that. Is so most disappointing movie of 2023 for me for the movie canon, and then the last one here is worst movie of 2023. You can't even tell what that is, right? What is that image? What is that graphic? You probably don't know because it's the movie Skinamarink. And this shot that you see here and very similar shots that are in this movie, that's the movie. It's a horror movie. It's supposed to be experimental filmmaking, blah 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 blah. And it was such a bad movie. I walked out within 20 minutes. I did go see it in theaters with other people, and I was hoping that the other people would walk out with me, but anyways, they didn't. So I came back, and I stayed. Not sure why, but I stayed there, and there's no real narrative in this movie. It's just a bunch of shots of walls, of the carpet, of toys on the ground. I know that the filmmakers were trying to make some kind of like a little indie quote unquote experimental horror story that's supposed to be different and all this other shit, but it's like I don't want to see a shot of a wall for like 6 minutes and then you move on to another shot for another 7 minutes. And I've seen online they're like, oh, but it's supposed to represent this, it's supposed to represent that. It's like I don't care. I'm in a movie theater. I want to enjoy the film, and maybe some of you guys have seen it and you liked it. That's great and everything. But I had a terrible time with this movie, and it felt long, and it's only like an hour and a half or something like that. But you've heard of this movie, Matthew? Skinamarink?
yep, I luckily missed out on this.
You luckily didn't see it. I think it's on Shudder, but they released it in theaters for a bit. Let's see. I think we're gonna move on to the honorable mentions that I have here. Okay, so let's go back here real quick. Okay, so honorable mentions, I have 5, which is kind of like 15th through 11th, right? So Past Lives, I already talked about it. Most surprisingly good movie of the year for me, so it's in my honorable mention. It didn't quite make it to the top 10 obviously, but it was kind of close to it. Number 14 is Evil Dead Rise, and I know you haven't seen this movie, right, Matthew?
I definitely tried to, it just didn't work out, but yeah, I did not
Oh,
see
okay,
this.
that's right. So I did enjoy this movie. I even liked the remake that they did in 2013, and this particular I don't remember if it's actually connected to the others or not. I don't remember if it is or not, but big horror fans, so this was entertaining to me. I thought it was pretty creepy, and it was just done well. Evil Dead Rise, honorable mention. The next one here is The Color Purple, which I just recently saw. So obviously this is a remake of the 1985 movie that was made, directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah. And I know they made a musical based on the book and the movie, and now the filmmakers adapted that musical, and that's what we got, this Color Purple musical film, which was actually very, very good. I'm not a big musical fan per se. I don't really seek out musicals, but since I really enjoyed and liked the original The Color Purple by Steven Spielberg, I wanted to see this even if it was a musical, and it was actually pretty damn good. It almost made it to my top 10. So I know, Matthew, you weren't really interested in this movie, right?
Nah.
Have you even heard of the original?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, Gen Z people. Okay, so that was the honorable mention here. I have two more, but I'm gonna start with Matthew's two honorable mentions. So I'm gonna send it to you, Matthew. This is one of your honorable mentions.
So this is Scream 6?
Yeah, Scream 6.
Yeah, Scream 6. I liked this movie a lot when it came out, actually, but as more time went on, it just became more forgettable to me. And then the recent news definitely brought this down for me, even though it's kind of unrelated, but it just makes me look at this with the unfavorable light now. So this definitely could have been higher, but as of right now, this is just an honorable mention.
And I don't remember if I asked you this or not, Matthew. Are you overall a Scream fan in general?
Yeah, I like Scream. I like Ghostface.
Because I know we saw Scream 5, and I know you've seen the other ones, but you still haven't seen all of them, right?
No, I've seen. I think I need to see the third one and the second one.
Oh, okay. So that's Matthew's honorable mention. I have another one here. Where is it? Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Godzilla Minus One. Godzilla Minus One is it was almost one of those surprisingly good movies as well, but I mean, obviously didn't make it to the top 10, but this is probably one of the better Godzilla movies. Now, I actually did like the 2014 Godzilla movie. I know a lot of people didn't really like that one. I did like it quite a bit, but this one's a little different than all the other ones because it kind of does focus more on the humans, the actual characters, which a lot of these monster movies do not really care to really spend any time on. They just want to show you the creature, the monster, Godzilla, King Kong, whatever. Now, this has a lot of things that make a good movie. Obviously, we have Godzilla, we have the monster, which we obviously like to see on screen. The characters are well developed. It's set during post-World War II in Japan, so you can imagine the stuff that is happening during that era at that location. And some of the things that happen is just things that you wouldn't necessarily expect. And some of the ideas that the human characters have to try to defeat Godzilla, it's a little unique, a little different. So I thought it was cool overall. So I did enjoy it. Matthew, you haven't seen this, right?
I have not. I don't remember why I didn't see this, but it might be something I'd watch in the future. It's especially after all the positive reviews of it.
Yeah.
Especially after all the negative reviews of other Godzilla movies. So
right.
I definitely watch it as like the one Godzilla movie I would watch, since I haven't really seen any of the other ones.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so honorable mention, almost made it to my top 10, but not quite. Let me go into the chat real quick here. Let's see. Trying to see if I could get to the correct one here. Deborah Rostelli says, I thought the Barbie movie was unwatchable. Okay. All right. Well, maybe Barbie will be in our top 10. But we'll see right now. Yomo says, I've been wanting to see the new Scream movie, and I've heard great things about Minus One. Yes. So like I said, Godzilla Minus One, great movie. Almost made it to my top 10. Going to Matthew's last honorable mention before we get into the top 10. We have the Super Mario Brothers movie. Matthew.
I forgot this was my honorable mention. Just like the other Scream movie that I mentioned, I did like this movie a lot more when it first came out. Definitely some recency bias. I also love Mario.
Yeah.
But like reflecting more on it, I feel like it didn't reflect on all of the Mario franchise that it should have. It kind of picked weird things to pick and choose from.
Mm-hmm.
But I did like this movie. It clearly almost made my top 10, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, just very close on making it to your top 10. This movie was my most anticipated movie of 2023. So when I did my most anticipated movies of that year last year, this one was my number one, if I remember correctly. So I guess we'll see if it made it to my top 10, right? Okay, so I think this is my last honorable mention. Then we'll get to the main top 10, and that's Elemental, Pixar. I did really enjoy this movie. It was kind of marketed a different way. It kind of turned out to be something a little different, but I didn't really mind it. I did like the story. I liked the themes and things like that. And I've always been a fan of Pixar. When that first Toy Story movie came out, I was obsessed with that movie because it was like, oh, this weird, different animation. So I've been a fan of Pixar since. Obviously, not all the Pixar movies have been great, but they do have a pretty good track record. So I did like this one, Elemental. And then, have you had a chance to watch this, Matthew?
I have not. Disney kind of did a weird marketing thing with this on social media where they chose a random character and tried to like create some hype around him, which I thought was a little odd. But
which character? Is it the white?
It was like
the water.
A side character, I think.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I mean, I don't remember seeing that at all, but
yeah, it was like a very big thing on social media, which I thought was weird. But
okay.
I have not seen this. No.
All right. So we're ready to move on to the top 10, starting with Matthew's number 10 pick, which is, what is it? Trolls
3? I don't know.
Band Together or something?
Yeah, Band Together.
Okay, so explain this one, Matthew.
So I did not think I was going to see this movie, nor did I think I would like this movie. I remember not liking the first one, like, at all. I thought it was very odd. But I just randomly went with some friends to see this movie, and I actually liked it a lot. It was very funny, I'm not gonna lie, and it's very self-aware. I don't know what the second one's like, but this movie was like, I probably laughed in this movie more than anything this whole year.
Oh wow.
And also the story was I think the writing was decent for what it is, and the music in this movie was just amazing. I like all the like boy band songs they chose for this. So
that was funny because I know you mentioned like, oh, I watched the Trolls movie. I was like, what the hell? I was like, that was so unexpected. I've never seen any of the Trolls movies. I'm not, above watching animated movies, right? Obviously, Elemental was in my honorable mentions. So this movie did not look interesting to me. Actually, none of them have. So it was just kind of funny that you said like, oh yeah, I watched it. So, and then it's on your number 10.
Sure is.
So yeah. Let me go back to the chat real quick. Let's see here. Yomo says this Mario movie was a fun film to watch with the family. Yeah, I would totally agree with that. And then he says my wife wants to see the Elemental film. We just haven't got to it yet. Yeah, I think it's on Disney Plus. I'm pretty sure it's on Disney Plus now. Denise Taylor Dennis says, I thought the Barbie movie was hilarious. Yeah, I mean, I guess I won't go into any details about that right now, but I did enjoy Barbie. It wasn't amazing or anything, but it wasn't too bad, or it wasn't bad, I should say. Let's see. Deborah Rosselli says, I just couldn't. So she did not like Barbie. All right, so we're caught up there. So let's move on to my number 10. My number 10 is The Iron Claw. And this movie was a contender of one of the most surprisingly good movies of the year. But this movie was actually... I didn't know the true story because obviously it's based on a true story. I didn't know anything about it. So watching the film, I was obviously curious and interested in watching it because I did hear that it was pretty good. But I thought it was gonna go a certain way because it's a sports movie, wrestling movie. So I was like, okay, this is gonna be one of those movies. But whatever, we'll see how it goes. And it's a very, very interesting story here. Definitely not I better not say it. I don't want to spoil anything. So it's a great movie, and it's my number 10. I don't know if it's gonna get any Oscars attention or anything, but I did really like it, surprisingly. So Have you heard of this movie, Matthew?
Yeah, I heard a lot of good discussion of this. This is it came out recently, right?
Yeah. It came out like right before Christmas.
Okay, yeah. I saw a lot of people saying that it was like surprisingly good.
Okay. Let me see here. Oh, sorry, I got distracted right now. Okay, so let's see. So that was the number 10 spot for me. So Matthew's number 9. And actually, your list, Matthew, was surprising. Obviously, Trolls kicked everything off. This movie also was a bit surprising. I knew you liked it, but I didn't know you liked it to be in your top 10. So go ahead, Matthew.
So I am a Nicolas Cage fan.
Yeah.
This movie was one that I did want to see from the start, and the one thing that I didn't really like about this movie was just like the whole like ending stuff, which was just kind of random.
The which part?
That like the whole stuff at the end with like the
Okay. Without getting into spoilers.
Yeah. But like all like the beginning stuff and like the middle, I thought it was all like very. I liked it a lot. It was very just like fun to watch, like all the like madness happening.
Yeah, I like this movie. It was actually kind of funny. It talks about like was it cancel culture or whatever. Very like funny take on that, and of course we have Nicolas Cage, which I'm a big fan of, from all the way back to Face Off and Con Air and his resurgence lately. So I'm a big fan of Nicolas Cage. He was good in this, and it just didn't make it obviously to my top 10 maybe. So that's Dream Scenario. I don't even think I mentioned the name of the movie, huh? Dream Scenario, or maybe you say it Scenario or Scenario? How do you say it, Matthew? Scenario or Scenario?
Scenario, like
Scenario?
the Fortnite emote.
Okay, so Dream Scenario, whatever. That's Matthew's number 9. Okay, going back to number. Oh wait, I think we're going to my number 9. My number 9 is Dungeons and Dragons. What is it called?
Honor Among Thieves.
Honor Among Thieves. There you go. Honor Among Thieves. So we see this picture here, and there's a lot of stuff going on in this movie. I'm not a Dungeons and Dragons player, so I'm not a fan of the game. Well, actually, technically, I haven't really played it, so I can't really say I'm a fan of it or not. But I didn't think I would actually enjoy this movie as much as I did. But this movie's actually pretty funny. And the story is, it's not groundbreaking or anything, but this movie is really about the characters and the funny moments. The special effects in it are pretty decent. They're not bad or anything, but overall, it's a fun movie. And I know we watched it like a week before it came out in one of those little previews or whatever, and I really enjoyed this movie. So obviously, here's my top 10. Matthew, did you want to mention something about this movie?
We will see.
Okay, so to be continued. All right. Okay, so that was number 9. Let me look at the live chat again real quick here. Let's go back. Let's see. Yoma says, "Ooh, I want to see this one. I'm a wrestling fan, so it has my attention." Oh, the Iron Claw. Let me see if I come back to the picture. Okay, so you're referring to the Iron Claw with Zac Efron. So like I said, very good movie, surprisingly good. So there you go. Let's see. Deborah Rosselli says, "I heard the wrestling movie was excellent." Yes, it definitely is. Mr. Kuso says, "D&D was way better than I expected," and yes, that's exactly my thoughts there as well. Yomo says, "Yeah, D&D was a good and fun film." Yes, top 10 for me. Is it in Matthew's? We'll see.
Maybe.
Moving on to the number 8 spot for Matthew. Matthew's pick is Blue Beetle. Matthew.
So yeah, Blue Beetle, definitely the best DC movie of this year. One of my favorite DC movies of this year.
I think that might be true, actually. So.
But yeah, this is a character that I've always liked. He doesn't really have like any representation in live action until now, so I was very excited for this. When he was cast as Sholo Maridueña, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see anything that he's in. I didn't see Cobra Kai, but he definitely at least looked the part.
Oh, okay.
And this was definitely like a fun a movie about family, not necessarily a family movie, but it was just lots of fun.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I do like Cobra Kai. It's a lot of cheesy fun. So when they cast him as this character, I was kind of excited about it. I was like, oh yeah, he'll totally play that. You know, Hispanic representation and a comic book character. I'm actually not too familiar with Blue Beetle, the character himself, but I thought that was good casting just based on what I've seen of the actor in Cobra Kai. But yeah, so that was Matthew's number 8 pick. Now let's go to mine, which is a movie called Sisu. And actually, a lot of the movies on my top 10 list were surprisingly good, but this is definitely one of them. So this is set during World War II, and I don't know if you've seen the trailers for this, but this is like John Wick during the World War II era. So this guy right here is like John Wick, and you can imagine the sequences, the action sequences in a John Wick style action movie. So you can only imagine if you haven't seen it, and it's a lot of fun. It's not even that long. It's like an hour and a half. The story just gets to it like right away. The production design, cinematography, everything was entertaining. These are the movies that you go to the theaters to see because they're just so much fun. And it's an action movie. So number 8 for me. Matthew, have you heard of this movie at all?
Yeah, I remember when it came out, you liked it a lot, actually. It was like, I think maybe your favorite movie of the year at that point.
At that point, yeah.
But I definitely did want to see this movie, but it just did not work out for me. But
yeah, and then I don't know if that was the issue, but you were gone for like 2 months doing your band stuff. So I know you missed a lot of movies that came out during the summer.
Yeah.
So. Actually, I think this movie might have come out before that.
Yeah.
I think it came out like in late April or something, but yeah. So let's see. So that was my number 8. So let's go to. You already did your number 8, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay. So let me go back. Let me go to the chat real quick here. And again, sorry guys that I can't display it. Problems with the software. So after today, I'll be able to display all the live chats. Okay, so going back to the chat here. Let's see, where was I here? Yomo says, I like Blue Beetle as well. It was another film I enjoyed watching with the family, and I thought it was good casting. Yes. Mr. Kuso says, I heard Sisu was really good, and I don't know if this movie's on streaming or not. I'm trying to remember what studio made Sisu. It might be on Amazon Prime. Don't quote me, but yes, it's entertaining. It's very entertaining. And if you're like a history buff, I think you'll like it even more so. And then I'll just tell you one little thing about this. I don't know if you want to consider it a spoiler or not. I don't think it is, but sorry if you think it is, but I think this character says like one line in the entire movie. So this is an action movie. So I think he says one thing. That was it. So, okay, going back here, where was I here? Yumo says, yes, Sisu was awesome. Definitely reminded me of John Wick style film. I enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed watching this with my dad. Yes. Actually, our dad will probably like this movie.
Yeah, probably.
So there you go. Ryan Riley just dropped by. Hello there, Mr. Ryan Riley. It says, I also liked Blue Beetle. So again, that was Matthew's number
8.
number 8, right? So that was Matthew's pick, Blue Beetle, and where we, I think we're caught up with the chat, I believe. Oh no, Deborah Rosselli says, "Do you think they could possibly do another John Wick?" Okay, so either way, I'm trying to not be spoilery, because if I tell you yes they'll make another one or yes they won't make another one, it'll be spoilery, I would say, either way. So if you haven't seen John Wick Chapter 4, so I know this movie's been out for like
8 months.
yeah, for like almost a year. Well, I think it's less than that. Yeah, actually, yeah, I think you're right. I think it is like 8 months. So I'll just say this: whatever happens to John Wick, whether he lives or not, you know, the studio will want to make another movie if it made a lot of money, which in this case they did. So I'll just say that. So there you go. Let's see. I think that was it. Okay, so let's go back to the list. Okay, so again, I was on Sizu. Let's go to Matthew now. This one was another movie that I was surprised that was on your top 10. Not that it was bad, because I did like it. I did like Air. So this is Air, the movie about how they got the Michael Jordan or the Jordans contract with Nike and stuff like that. It's a very interesting story. I think this one is on Amazon Prime, if I'm not mistaken. I think you could stream it, but probably. Matthew, your thoughts?
So before this movie, before I saw it, I mean, I was like, yeah, I mean, that sounds cool, I guess. But yeah, this movie was like very interesting. I have multiple pairs of Jordans, and I think it was just very like,
oh yeah, that's right.
it was very interesting to see how they came to be, and then all the performances in this movie I just thought were great. Like Ben Affleck, who I don't necessarily like in other things, I just thought he was very like funny in this movie. So
yeah, very good and solid movie. I did like it, and then we'll see if it's in my top 10. Let's move on to my number 7, I believe. Yeah, I think that's where we're at. My number 7 is Talk to Me. It's a horror movie. A24, is that the studio?
Yeah,
A24. This movie is pretty creepy, to say the least. I know a lot of people are not huge horror fans. I mean, obviously I'm a big horror fan, and there's actually quite a few on this list. But this movie here, I kind of don't want to give anything away. That's why I'm being kind of vague. This kid that you see here, and I don't think it's going to happen, but I think he should get an Oscar nomination for his role in this movie. Like I said, I don't think it's going to happen because the Academy doesn't usually do that for a horror movie, but his performance in this is insane. And just there's a bunch of stuff that's going on in this movie that's very creepy. Storytelling is good. Acting is great, like I just said. So, Matthew, I don't think you've seen this either, right?
I have not seen it.
Okay, but you've heard of this movie.
Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about this movie.
Yeah, it's the one with the hand. You know, you talk to it and stuff happens. I don't have an image of the hand in case some of you guys don't know what Talk to Me was. Horror movie, great. My number 7. Let's move on to Matthew's number 6, right? Yes. Yes, number 6. Matthew's pick is Creed 3. Go ahead, Matthew.
So before I saw this movie, I had not seen any Creed movies. I just watched a YouTube video on the lore.
Like a summary, a synopsis.
And I've never really seen like many wrestling movies or boxing movies. I saw a bit of, I think, Rocky 4 in history class at some point, but that was like basically it. But I like this movie a lot. I think the performances from Michael B. Jordan and I think Tessa Thompson.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And that other guy's name.
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, Jonathan Majors.
Who's in hot water now, but yeah. Damn, what a year for Jonathan Majors, huh?
But yeah, I think this movie had like I think the performances definitely carried the movie, along with the story was kind of generic, I guess. Like,
Yeah, sports
yeah,
boxing movie. Yeah.
but I thought it was really good. I think it was my number one movie of the year for a very long time.
Oh, okay. I did like this movie. Um, I won't tell you if it's in my top 10 or not, but I did like this. This is Michael B. Jordan's first time directing a movie, so he did an amazing job of directing a movie for the first time, and he was obviously able to direct actors performing well, and obviously a lot of the acting in this movie is also top notch, so it's quite an achievement. Michael B. Jordan, just on the directing part alone. Obviously, he's great as Creed. I do like all of the Creed movies. I'm admitting here, I haven't seen all the Rocky movies. I've seen a few of them, but I've seen all these Creed movies, and they were great. Let me go to the chat real quick here. Let's see. Yomo says Sisu is on Stars, Air is on Prime. Okay, cool. Thanks for letting me know, Yomo, for that update there. Deborah Rosselli says I read they were, but I don't know how. Okay, I think you're talking about John Wick. And then we have you just confirmed it's the Nike movie. Yes, Air is the Nike movie. Yomo says here the new Creed was good. It wasn't my favorite of the series, but it was good. Yes, so that was Creed 3, and that was Matthew's number 7.
6.
What is it?
Yes.
Oh, that's right, 6. Oh, it was covering the number. Okay, so that was Matthew's number 6, and let's see. Oh, I think this is my number 6. Okay, number 6 is yet another horror movie. It's Thanksgiving. Eli Roth, and this is going to be one of those movies that I'm going to watch probably annually during Thanksgiving, as you would imagine. This movie is, like I said, and other stuff, it's a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of Scream and just horror movies in general, like I mentioned, but the things what I like about Scream is that, there's the horror elements in there, but there's a bit of mystery because we don't know who the killer is, and you kind of trying to figure out who it would be. And this is the formula Eli Roth took to make this movie. And it's kind of odd that they would make a Thanksgiving killer movie or whatever the case. So like I said, a lot of fun. If you're a big horror fan, you probably already watched this, but if you haven't and you're kind of on the fence, I thought this movie was pretty damn good, so much that it's my number 6. Matthew?
I did not see this movie, but I definitely will eventually. If not next Thanksgiving, then the one after that. So.
Oh yeah, next Thanksgiving. Yes. So yeah, it's just a movie that I think I'll rewatch quite often, I would think. Part of the things, which is something I should have mentioned earlier, probably, is that the way that I grade movies on my channel or just in general, part of it is the rewatchability. So some movies I might really liked and enjoyed, but it may not be a movie that I may want to rewatch, especially multiple times. So this was one of them. That's why it's also kind of high in here. So that was my number 6. Going into Matthew's number 5 spot, and that's John Wick Chapter 4. Matthew?
So I watched this maybe 2 days ago, over like the span of 3 days, I think.
Oh my god. It is pretty long.
But I haven't really seen any of the John Wick movies. I have his skin in Fortnite, but I watched another lore YouTube video before watching this, but which I did think brought me up to speed with like everything. But I did enjoy this movie a lot. Like, I think Keanu Reeves isn't the best when it comes to speaking, but when he's doing his thing, he's definitely doing his thing. And yeah, I think it was I liked the whole like beginning part, especially with all those action scenes in that one country, which I won't disclose.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was lots of fun.
Yeah. So that was John Wick Chapter 4. I'm going to move on to the next one here, which I think is my number 5.
Yes.
Yes. Scream 6. So Scream 6 was on your honorable mention, right?
Yes.
So that was in your honorable mention. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm a big Scream fan. I think I like this movie more than Scream 5.
Wow.
And the reason why I think I like this particular movie, because they still stuck to the formula with Scream, right? With Ghostface, which obviously I like, but they still were able to change things up a bit. And I appreciated that, because when I first heard that they were going to make a Scream 6 movie just a year after Scream 5, that was kind of like a big red flag for me, because like, oh, they're going to rush this. And it's not like it's like Lord of the Rings or anything like that, but I'm just saying they're just gonna like do something real quick and just film it and release it. But it was actually quite a lot of fun, like I mentioned before in other movies, and you know, just a lot of components in there that I like in Scream. And that opening scene, because the opening scene, at least for me, has to be very memorable. There's a couple opening scenes in Scream that were not. This one is, because they changed things up quite a bit, so much that I'm like, wait, what's going on? What's happening? They're not actually doing this. Are they actually gonna do that? You know, stuff like that, which I enjoyed. So that's why I really liked the Scream 6. And I think, Matthew, you already gave your thoughts because it was your honorable mention, right?
I sure did.
Yes. So that was my number 5. Let's go back to the chat real quick. I think I saw a few in there. Let's see. Amber Lizelle says hello. So hello there, Amber. Thank you for dropping by and watching. We have Andrew Medellin, right? Or Medellin, saying hi. So hello there. How you doing? Again, thank you so much for dropping by here and watching us. Yomo says John Wick 4 was easily one of my favorite films of the year. Yes. And who knows, maybe John Wick is close to my top 5, maybe. We'll see. Deborah Rosselli says, oh yes, great movie. And I'm not sure if you're referring to John Wick or Scream 6. Denise Taylor Dennis says, this is a long time for a movie. Are you referring to the running time of John Wick? I'm not sure if that's what you mean, but John Wick is like 2 hours and 45 minutes, so it's pretty long. Going back to, what was the last one we were at? Oh, Scream 6, right?
Yes.
Okay, that was my number 5. Okay, so moving on to Matthew's number 4. Are you ready for this, Matthew?
Yes.
Number 4, Matthew's pick is Barbie. Go ahead, Matthew.
This is definitely a cute little movie. When this first got announced, I was expecting something very different. I don't know what they were going to do with it, but it definitely wasn't this. As with like most movies they make about like toys and other franchises like that, but this movie has a very good message, which I like about it. It has a lot of, actually I don't know where I was going with that, but I like Ryan Gosling in this movie a lot.
Yeah.
Margot Robbie, and I think it had a lot of good performances. It was just a very fun time.
Did you like Shang-Chi?
Oh, Simu Liu?
Yeah, right, Simu Liu.
He was very good in this.
I always
also.
forget his name. And I watched that one series he was in, that Canadian series. What is it called? Kim's Convenience, I think.
Oh yeah.
I watched that whole series, and he was good in it. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, I enjoyed this movie. You know, like I said, I didn't think it was great or anything, but it was fine, not too bad. My number 4 is John Wick Chapter 4. So it was actually top 3 around there at one point. So it dropped to number 4, and it's fitting, right? I always liked Keanu Reeves. My favorite film of all time, like it's like when it comes to a one single movie, is The Matrix, which Keanu Reeves stars in. So I'm glad that he has like another franchise that he's doing and has been successful at it. So I enjoyed that. There's a lot of like scenes in some of the John Wick movies that kind of like reference to Neo, The Matrix, especially when it comes to like guns and things like that. But this particular one, I thought it was great. I loved all of them. I think this might be the best one. I think so. So yeah, so number 4, Matthews was number 5, right?
Yes.
So both of us obviously really liked this movie. So yeah. Let's see. Go to the chat real quick again. Here says we have Yomo 444. LOL. Yeah, and that was not on purpose. It just it just turned out that way.
Sure.
Okay, so that was the number 4 spot. Let's move on to number 3, and this is Matthew's number 3, and that's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Matthew?
So Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, a movie that everyone coming into it expected this to be like a very depressing, dark movie or something like that. It was definitely marketed that way.
Mm-hmm.
And in some aspects, like all the stuff with Rocket, which, was shown in the trailer, a lot of that was very dark and interesting, which I liked. I'm not a huge, the biggest fan of all the Guardians movies like other people are,
Mm-hmm.
but this one is definitely one that I liked a lot more than most MCU movies and most Guardian movies. And another thing that I like is obviously the soundtrack. This movie was very, all the songs they chose, I love them. At least 3 of them are in my current music soundtrack, my current playlist as of right now. And also the performances are great. You can see all the chemistry that all the actors have. I think Chris Pratt, which I don't very like his animated dominance right now, but he was very good in this movie. Star-Lord was definitely a height for me in this movie. So
yeah. Did you like Adam Warlock?
Oh, I liked his design, but I did feel like he was kind of wasted.
He was underutilized.
Yeah.
There was so much hype for that character too, and it was just
I forgot about him talking about the movie. So
yeah, he was just kind of whatever. So that's Matthew's number 3, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So again, not on purpose. Let me go back to the chat, because we're about to get into my number 3 spot, and it's going to be very controversial. Let's go into the chat again here. Mr. Kuso says, Wick Chapter 4 was so good, long, and exhausting, but in a good way. I totally get what you mean by that.
yes.
2 hours and 45 minutes of just basically non-stop action sequences. And whatever happened to the Mustang? So was anyone going to get that Mustang?
Wasn't that supposed to be the point of this movie or something? Or the last one?
Well, no. Oh, that's right. You haven't seen the other ones.
I don't know.
No, the whole point of this movie was his little dog. But kind of. Yeah, so I just remember that. Wait, what happened to the Mustang? I think he dropped it off in Chapter 2. And I don't think we saw it in Chapter 3, and same thing in Chapter 4.
Oh yeah, he wants to get it in Chapter 2. That's
I don't know.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think
who knows? Yomo says Guardians was great. So that was Matthew's number 3 pick. Denise Taylor Dennis says, I meant a long time to watch a movie over 3 days. Oh yeah.
I suck at watching things at home. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've done that. I mean, I didn't do it for John Wick, but I think I split Gone with the Wind over a week or something like that, because it's 4 hours. But yeah. Let's see. Ryan Riley says all the Guardians were great, I thought. So yeah, I liked all the Guardians. I think this third one is probably the best one as well, the most recent one.
Yes.
That was obviously my opinion there, but Okay, so I kind of have to prepare you for my number three. Uh, Deborah Rosselli says, I am a Guardians huge fan. So yeah, like a lot of people love these characters that just kind of came out of nowhere because they're not really common, well-known comic book characters, and James Gunn was able to actually do something pretty special, I would say, with these characters and these movies. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, so my number three is, like I said, controversial. I will tell you that rewatchability is a factor. I would say I'm a little biased for a particular character.
Oh, I see where this is going.
And I know a lot of people hated this movie so much. And I had a good time with this movie. And that's part of the whole thing, you know. Did you enjoy the movie? Were you entertained? Just like Gladiator says, you know. Are you entertained with, well, not this part, but with this movie? And that's just what this was to me. I'll explain some of the issues with this movie, which I'll give you some reasons for it in just a bit. But here you go. My number three is The Flash. So Matthew's already like about to walk out right now. Yeah, so The Flash, Ezra Miller, Matthew's favorite actor.
Yes.
Right? So this movie, I watched it at one of those early screens. Actually, a lot of people were watching it that way. And this movie, when I first saw it, when it comes to the CGI, I was like, oh, maybe they're not done. Maybe they haven't completed the movie yet, because the CGI looks a little questionable, to say the least, right? And then I did watch it again, opening night. I took my nephew to watch it, and he said he liked it, so I don't know. And then I saw the same exact thing, so I was like, okay, so no, that was not the issue. That is the CGI for this movie. And I know the director, I think it's Andy Muschietti, who directed the It movies, chapter 1 and 2. He mentioned something that the CGI is supposed to look like that because of how fast the Flash is moving, that's kind of how he perceives it or how he sees it. I don't know if you want to believe that or not, or if he's just kind of like explaining why his CGI or the CGI in the movie was bad. The one sequence that was especially poor, which I think I understand why they did it that way, is the sequences where he's like looking into the past. Like sometimes you'll see like Henry Cavill as Superman, and he looks like very CGI and animated. And to me, it's like, well, I think they probably could have used something else, or maybe use the actor to do it. Or there's just some other sequences where the actors that they are actually part of the movie, they are also CGI. So it's like, well, maybe it's supposed to be on purpose, because they could have just had the same actors that are in the movie just portray the live versions of those actors, but they use them in a CGI form, like the dad, like the Flash's dad, the mom. They're like CGI in some of those sequences, and they could have just used the actors for that. So I think that was on purpose. Some of the surprises at the end were CGI, and I think it has something to do with that too. Like they just couldn't really get some of the performers, you know, some of them who've passed away and stuff. And apparently, I don't know if I want to say that or not. Saying, but yeah. It's definitely spoilery. I don't know if some of you guys have seen this movie or not, but yeah. So one particular actor supposedly did do their scene, but he still looks CGI as hell. I'm a big Batman fan, huge Batman fan, so obviously I liked all the Batman scenes, as little as they were. But I just had a good time with it. I just really, really did. So to me, it's like when I look back, would I watch The Flash again? Yeah, because it was fun. So that's why it's high on there. Matthew, your thoughts on The Flash?
So as a movie by itself, this movie is fine, but The Flash is probably my second or third favorite superhero of all time. I haven't decided, but as a Flash fan, I thought this movie was awful. CGI, awful. The characterization of Barry Allen is the worst I've seen in any adaptation. Like, that is not Barry Allen. And like, I don't really like Ezra Miller. You know, they've done a lot of bad things, but
yeah. As far as his personal life, you know, that's a completely different situation. But I mean, just in general, I think you didn't even like him even before all this stuff.
No, even in Justice League. But yeah, when this movie was announced in 2014, I was very excited.
Yeah,
it
like
was
40 years ago.
It was a week after the Flash CW show's first episode premiered or something like that.
Yeah.
And I had very high expectations for this. It was supposed to come out in 2018. It didn't. And by that time, I was already like, yeah, this movie's gonna suck when it comes out. But
okay.
But yeah, it definitely did exceed my expectations a little bit. I was expecting it to be like extremely bad, which it wasn't. It was just fine as a movie, I guess. But
okay.
Everything else.
So I think most people agree with you than with me when it comes to this movie. Let me go to the chat real quick here. Let's see. Deborah Rostelli, I think she's talking about John Wick, says, wait, where is it? I just missed it. I wanted to know about his dog. Yes. Oh, the second dog, right? The one from the Pitbull, I think.
The black dog?
John Wick's dog. Yeah, right. Mr. Crusoe says, the story was so good, but man, those special effects. Right. Right, so we're talking about
the falling babies?
The Flash. Let's see. Yomo says, Yomo has left the live chat. Just kidding. And I think I did see a couple people leave the stream. Some guy says, Flash was not bad, but the CGI was trash. Sorry. Yeah, exactly. Billy Goat is sending kisses for the Flash, I'm guessing. So there you go, Billy Goat. Chewo, thanks for dropping by. Some guy says it was great to see Keaton back in the suit and Batfleck as well. Right. So like I said, big Batman fan. We got Michael Keaton. We have Ben Affleck. We have So for people who haven't seen the movie, but let's go back here. Deborah Rastelli says, Giovanni, there's an echo. Oh, is that the case?
I don't know.
Let me check something here. Hold on a second. Let me go back to the screen here. Are you guys hearing an echo of some sort? Let me go back to another screen here. Denise Taylor says, I think I got booted off or my connection dropped. Billy Ghost says, don't forget Clooney. Okay, well, I was trying not to say anything. But, let me know, guys. Am I echoey? It says, no echo. You're good. Audio is good. Okay, all right. Well, Mr. Kusa said, I don't have an echo. Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much for letting me know. If there's any issues later, definitely let me know. I thank you, Deborah, for letting me know, though, if there was any issue. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so we're done with the Flash, so let me remove this in case someone drops in and sees that. Number 2, right?
Yeah.
Number 2, Matthew's pick is Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. Pretty high, Matthew, pretty high.
Yeah, it is pretty high, actually.
Your thoughts?
So this movie is great. I love this movie. When it came out, I did not know what to expect. I never played Dungeons and Dragons, but this movie was just like, if I were to guess, this would probably be a love letter to Dungeons and Dragons, because it was definitely a love letter to just RPG like things in general, role playing games in general. Like I play a lot of Elden Ring, other games like that, and it just like a lot of things that were in this movie is very relatable to even that. Like it's not even just Dungeons and Dragons. And this movie was also hilarious.
Yeah, there's a lot of moments that I'm thinking of right now that were just hilarious.
I forgot his name. The one guy from Pokemon.
Oh, Justice Smith.
Yeah, Justice Smith. I loved him in this. I think I like him in like everything I see him in. Yeah. Also, the ginger girl who I also forgot her name. Who was
from It?
Yeah, from It, which is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, I'm actually blocking Justice Smith's face with your Matthew's pick.
But yeah, this movie was just like this movie was amazing. It was my number one for at least half the year. So yeah, this is just very good.
So there you go. That was Matthew's number 2 pick. So let's go to my number 2. Now, I think this movie, Matthew, my number 2, I don't think you've seen it.
Probably not. Oh, no, I haven't.
I'm curious to see if it would be on your top 10. It's Oppenheimer. Christopher Nolan's epic masterpiece. I have and love, and I don't want to say hate, love and dislike with Christopher Nolan, because I was a big fan when I first saw Memento, which was one of his first movies that came out in 2001, I believe. I loved that movie. I loved the style. It was very different and unique. The way he told this story was, I thought, very smart, and it was great. And then obviously we have the Batman movies, the Dark Knight movies, and things like that. Interstellar. What's the name of the magician one? The Prestige. If I'm saying that correctly. So he was one of my top filmmakers of all time. At one point, there was a couple movies that he made that I was kind of disappointed in, and I know a lot of people did like those particular titles, like Dunkirk. Like, I didn't think it was a bad movie. I just was kind of expecting more, so I was kind of disappointed with it. And then Tenet was just like, I'm not liking this. So, like, I could appreciate what he was trying to do and things like that, and there was a couple scenes that were very Christopher Nolan.
I saw like 15 minutes of Tenet.
Right, yeah, that's right. That one scene in the theater, that's very Christopher Nolan like, and that actually is what hooked me to want to watch it. But overall, I was just kind of disappointed with that movie, and I don't know. Then we have Oppenheimer, and I was still excited for this because I was still hopeful that Christopher Nolan, in my mind, would come back to form, even though, like I said, a lot of people liked Tenet, a lot of people liked Dunkirk, and like I said, those movies weren't bad. They were just not to my expectations anyway. But we get Oppenheimer, and it's a great film, historical. Performances are top notch, writing is top notch, direction. The only thing is maybe like the third act kind of dragged a little bit. I think you probably could have cut maybe half an hour out of it, but overall great movie. I do think, because when I do my Oscars predictions live stream or video in a few weeks or a couple months, I do think Christopher Nolan is the guy to beat when it comes to Best Director. Right now, I don't see anyone else taking that Oscar, and I think that's going to be his first one if he doesn't win it if he gets nominated for screenwriter or whatever. Great film. Number 2. Matthew, your thoughts?
So this was probably one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I remember seeing the sign at AMC Universal with the countdown.
Oh yeah.
And I was just very excited for this movie. Unfortunately, I could not watch it as it came out in the summer.
Oh yeah, that's really
and fun. I don't really have 3 hours to watch this movie, but I really did want to watch this. The cast is very stacked. We have Jack Quaid, also
Oh yeah, I forgot he was in that.
Josh Peck from Drake and Josh.
Oh
which was
yeah,
very funny to me. But yeah, I do want to
Robert
watch
Downey
this
Jr.
eventually, but it's just not, just for the length alone, it's not on my immediate radar. But yeah, I did really want to watch this movie.
Oh okay. So yeah, great film. Let me get into the live chat here. Mr. Kuso says 100% agreed. I love the respect for the source material in Dungeons and Dragons. So let me try to go back to that image there. So again, that was Matthew's number 2. Okay, I'm not sure why he's in that. Changing it. See? Issues with Streamlabs. Watch me get sued. Okay, so... Alright, so I wasn't able to change it for some reason, but... that was Mr. Kuso, again, enjoying Dungeons and Dragons. Let's see... Denise Taylor Dennis says, I recorded Oppenheimer, I just need to watch it. Yeah, so you'll need 3 hours. So there you go. Billy Goat 26 says, or 126 says, Oppenheimer, perfect start to finish. Every minute is important and purposeful. Denise Taylor Dennis says, I didn't realize Oppenheimer is 3 hours long. Yes, that is 3 hours of your life. Making it sound like it's a bad thing, but it's a great movie. Like I said, third act dragged a bit for me, but ultimately, among Christopher Nolan's better films, I mean, for me, it's The Dark Knight, but again, Batman bias. But there you go. That was number 2. So let's move on to Matthew's top movie of 2023. It looks like we got another chat here regarding Oppenheimer. Ryan Riley says, I want to see Oppenheimer. I don't think it's streaming anywhere yet, because I know Christopher Nolan was pushing for us to buy the 4K physical media. I haven't done so, but I mean, I might actually buy it. I think it's that quality. Let's see. Okay, we're going to go into Matthew's number 1, which is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Your thoughts, Matthew?
So when it comes to the first Spider-Verse movie, I know a lot of people loved it. I wasn't among those people. I thought it was a good movie, of course, but it wasn't like, I know it's a lot of people's favorite Spider-Man movie. It would probably be in like my top 5 or something, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite. But this movie I thought was leagues better than the first one. They do a bunch of Spider-Verse craziness. You know, Spider-Man is my favorite superhero / character of all time, so there's a little bias there.
So, like my Batman?
Yeah.
Your Spider-Man?
Yes. And I thought Oscar Isaac as Miguel O'Hara was perfect casting. He was just like, he was very intimidating. He was very huge. I liked that a lot. Also, the whole thing with Gwen and Miles was very interesting, and I just think all the characters that they added in this movie, along with returning characters from the first movie, just had a lot of depth, and I can't wait for the next one. Yeah.
Beyond the Spider-Verse?
Yes.
Which probably won't come out till 2025.
Wow.
So, I think it was supposed to come out in March.
Yes.
But there was no way they were going to be ready for that, even before the strikes. So that was Matthew's number 1. Okay, so let me go to the chat real quick before I review my number 1. Let's see. Mr. Kuso says, Across the Spider-Verse was so good. Way better than the first. I would agree that Across the Spider-Verse is better than Into the Spider-Verse. I would agree with that. Would it be my number 1 though? Guess that would be the real question, right?
Probably not.
Okay, so my number 1 is Killers of the Flower Moon, Martin Scorsese's epic movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio.
What the heck?
And what, are you surprised, Matthew?
Yes.
You're surprised? Why are you surprised, Matthew?
I don't know, actually, but
okay, so this is my number 1 movie. And the performances in this is obviously expected, right? Martin Scorsese is directing. We have Leo, we have Robert De Niro, these heavy hitter actors, right? And there's one performer that actually I think outshines these legends. And let me try to find. I always forget the name, and I don't want to say it wrong. Lily Gladstone, right? So the girl that you see here on screen. I think she should win Best Actress if they consider her to be a leading role, if not supporting role, whatever it is that they determine. I think it's more of a leading role, but if she could outshine or actually tango with De Niro and Leo in a scene, I think you're top notch right there. And she was great in this. And it's a very subtle performance. You're not going to see something insane, right? You're not going to see a Heath Ledger Joker performance. You're not going to see some Jared Leto craziness in Dallas Buyers Club. It's a subtle performance, and Lily Gladstone should win an Oscar, whether it's supporting or leading. This movie is 3.5 hours long. I saw it in theaters. It did not feel that long to me. Martin Scorsese does not like to cut anything from his scenes, from his movies. So that's why a lot of his movies are long as hell. This is no exception. And I'm just going to, if you guys are not familiar with this or not, with what happened, the story, right? So it's set in the 1920s, Oklahoma. It focuses on a series of murders of Osage members and relations in the Osage Nation after oil was discovered on tribal land. The tribal members had retained mineral rights on their reservation, but a corrupt local politician boss sought to steal the tribal members' wealth. And it's very gangster still, even though it's not a gangster movie. It's Martin Scorsese, but he still makes it to be kind of like a gangster movie. And I love the movie. I was thinking about the rewatchability, and that's why I made it to my number one over Oppenheimer, because I think I would rewatch this movie over Oppenheimer if I had to choose. Which one of these two do you want to rewatch? I think I would pick Killers of the Flower Moon, even though obviously Oppenheimer was a great movie too. But this was my number one. Matthew, your thoughts?
So I think I passed on seeing this movie.
You did.
Because it's very long, and to me it seemed very Oscar bait.
Oscar baity?
Yes, a movie like, I'm forgetting what it's called, but the movie that came out last year with Margot Robbie.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, which is also 3 hours.
Yeah, so it just seemed like one of those movies which are just very, Oscar baity, and I didn't really I thought the trailer was good, but it just seemed very like that to me, but now I'm very intrigued.
It was kind of overhyped.
Yeah.
Without even, yeah, I know what you mean. Let's see. Mr. Kuso says, I need to see this. I'm not sure if you're referring to, I think you're referring to Killers of the Flower Moon, right?
Yes.
Denise Taylor Dennis says, wow, your favorite is a long one. Yes, it definitely is. Is this a historical movie? Yes, it's based on a true story. How accurate? I know there's certain things are not completely accurate, but a lot of it is. But just like a lot of movies based on true stories, they take liberties, to present a particular narrative or entertaining film or whatever. So, Killers of the Flower Moon, my number one movie. It will be on Apple TV Plus as of January 12th. So if you have Apple TV Plus, you can watch it for free. Right now, you would have to rent it or buy it. But that's my number one, Killers of the Flower Moon. Wow. Let's see. I think that's it. I think we're caught up with the live chat. Let me see here. Okay, so let's do a quick summary. Okay, top 10 movies of 2023, Millennial versus Gen Z list. Obviously, I'm the Millennial. Matthew's the little Gen Z list. I'm sorry, Gen Z. Gen Zer. Okay, so let's go back. So I'll just go to the top 10 again real quick here. Okay, so Matthew's number 10 was Trolls.
Yes.
Band Together, I believe. Mine was The Iron Claw. Matthew's number 9 was Dream Scenario, or Scenario, however you want to pronounce that word. My number 9 was Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. Matthew's number 8 was Blue Beetle. Mine was Sisu. Matthew's number 7 was Air. My number 7 was Talk to Me. Matthew's number 6 was Creed 3. My number 6 was Thanksgiving. Matthew's number 5 was John Wick Chapter 4. My number 5 was Scream 6. Matthew's number 4 is Barbie. My number 4 was John Wick Chapter 4. Matthew's number 3, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. My number 3 was The Flash.
Lame.
Number 2, Matthew's number 2 is Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. Is this the only movie that was both in our top 10?
Maybe.
I think it is, actually. Let me see.
John Wick.
Oh, John Wick. That's right, John Wick. My number 2 is Oppenheimer. Matthew's number 1 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And I didn't want to say this earlier because I didn't want to like hint at to what my number 1 was. But I wasn't a huge fan of this movie. I mean, it was good. It wasn't bad, but it's just there's just something about these Spider-Verse movies that's just not doing it for me to a certain level, right?
Sure.
I understand. I get the appeal and everything, and there were cool scenes in it and everything, but it just wasn't one of those movies that I was like, holy shit about. But that's just me, obviously. That was Matthew's number 1. And then mine, again, was Killers of the Flower Moon, Martin Scorsese film. Okay, so that's it for the top 10 list. So now we have a good amount of people in the chat right now. So I said I was going to do this giveaway here. So just a reminder, this giveaway is still open. I will announce the winner for this one closer to the end of the month if I get a minimum number of entries, which so far I don't even think I'm close of getting. So I don't know if you guys are just not interested in this. If that's the case, I may just cancel it and offer a new one. But for right now, it's still open. That's Thrawn from the Ahsoka series Funko Pop giveaway. Going back here to the mystery Funko Pop giveaway. So this is something that I'm going to do this month, starting today, starting right now. There's a mystery Funko Pop. Must be watching live, must be a subscriber to the Movie Canon or following the Instagram page, must have an address within the United States. And there's not too many of you guys here, so the only thing that I'm going to do right now for these is when I reveal which Funko it is, if you're interested in it, just say I'm a subscriber or follower or whatever, something to that effect. And then I'll just do the little post-it notes, your name on the post-it note, and then I'll pick a name. And I'm gonna do this next Saturday, the following Saturday. I'm gonna do this all month of January, see how it goes. If it's getting viewers or people are watching, then I'll make it a permanent thing, right? So, and then it'll be a mystery, so you won't know until a moment like this. Isn't there like a song called A Moment Like This or something?
Maybe.
Anyways, so that's how I'm gonna do this in January. And let's look at the chat real quick here. Just how do we enter that one? Oh, the Ahsoka giveaway. That one, the same thing. So if you have my Instagram, excuse me, if you have my Instagram, There's a post. There's a post on the Funko, and just read the instructions there, and then you enter that way, just like all the other ones that I've done, like for, I don't know, years probably at this point. Okay, so there's plenty of you guys here, so I'm going to reveal what it is. Okay, so this is just for this week's giveaway, and is the Sinister Six Vulture Marvel Deluxe Funko Pop. Okay, so this is this week's mystery Funko Pop giveaway. So if you're interested in this, say in the live chat, I'm a subscriber, I'm a follower, or I am both. I am a subscriber and a follower. And like I said, I'm doing another one next week. It'll be another mystery Funko Pop giveaway the following week, and then we'll see how this goes. So I need to get something here. So I'm gonna go back to the Be Right Back page while I get that. So during that, go ahead and say if you're interested in this. Okay. So give me a moment. I'll be right back.
I'll be right back.
Okay, so we're back here. We're back. Okay, so I'm gonna start doing that now. In the future, I might change the way that I select winners, but for right now, I'll just do it the physical, traditional way, I guess. Right? Let's see here. Mr. Kuso. Mr. Kuso. Can you fold this for me? And Mr. Kuso is let me see, where is it? Subscriber and follower. Okay, so Mr. Kuso will go in there twice. Okay. Denise, I'm a subscriber and follower. Okay, so put you in there twice. Oh, where is it? Oh, here it is. Oh, it's one of those things that like changes. Where was I? Oh, Denise. Denise, there you go, Matthew. Denise again. There you go. Okay, and then I have Andrew Medellin or Medellin. Andrew says I'm a subscriber and a follower. Right, Andrew. Okay, got that. Then I have Amber. Says I am both. Amber. Wait, is that an R? Yeah. Okay, Amber. There you go, Matthew. Amber again. That doesn't even look like an R. Okay, there you go. Then we have Riley. I'm a subscriber and follower. Yep. There you go. So another one for Ryan Riley. There you go. Deborah Rosselli says I'm a subscriber and follower. So we put Deborah. Oh, I just hit the mic. Okay. So there you go, Matthew. Deborah again. Okay, got that. The next one is Yomo. So Yomo, we have both subscriber and follower. There we go. Yomo again. Damn, I should have picked some different post-it notes. Storm Enchantress says, hi, y'all. Sorry I'm late. Wi-Fi subscriber and follower. Okay, Storm. I just put Storm. There you go, Matthew. Storm again. Okay, there you go. Alright, thank you, Matthew. Okay, so I think that's it. Storm Enchantress says, most of the movies people have mentioned are ones I was going to watch today before Wi-Fi went out. What's everyone recommends as top movies to watch? Yeah, so I mean, I did the whole list there, but I mean, it just really depends on what type of movies you like. You know, you like horror, you like action, you like dramas or whatever. Some of our top movies, me and Matthews, were Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, Spider-Man, Across the Spider-Verse, Trolls, so The Flash.
Nope.
So yeah. Storm Enchanter says, Giovanni, the dollar store Post-its are good usually, but Walmart had their sale last week for $1. Actually, I got these at Walmart. I don't think they were $1 though, but I think they were like $4 or something. Okay, so we have all the names in the hat, so I'm going to select a winner. Okay, so let's see here. Before we choose the winner, just a reminder, I'm kicking things off tomorrow night. Figures Talk. It's going to be its own show. I'm going to try this out, see how that goes. Previously, it was a segment under this show, the Met Report. So now it'll have its own show. Special guests, Reverse Zio, Carlos, and Mr. Yomo, who's in the live chat now. So Yomo will be a special guest as well tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. The giveaway for this one, because I wanted to have a giveaway kicking off this show, it's going to be a $25 gift card to Sideshow. And I'll give you guys details as to how you enter during the stream. But the main rules still apply. You know, be a subscriber or a follower to the Movie Canon and be present in the live chat. So Yomo says, can't wait. Let's see. And then some guys is excited for, actually, hold on here. Excited for Figures Talk. Great special guests. Yes, I completely agree. Storm Enchantress says, yay, got to see Yomo. Get to see Yomo. Okay, great. And yes, Mr. Cruz says, I did a Wick marathon last month. I was planning on doing that. I kind of wanted to see it with you, Matthew. To do a whole marathon of these John Wick movies, right? Right, but oh shit. One of the names just jumped out. Okay, so again, everyone, I'm doing this weekly this month. See how it goes. Next week, it'll be a completely mystery Funko. That's right, so same rules apply and everything. So let's choose a winner. Okay, Matthew, close your eyes. Since I have you with me. God damn it. Ugh. Hold on. Hold on. I dropped the name. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me go back to this pic. This image. Okay, and I think I did that last time too, actually. So, okay, so all the names are here. Close your eyes, Matthew, and choose a name. Okay, so let's see. Just threw the hat. All right, so let's see who won this week's. Oh my god. Holy crap. So, so again, the streak continues as Mr. Kuso wins again. Mr. Kuso won this Funko. So you're going to have like a whole collection of Funkos from the movie canon. So Mr. Kuso has won. So this week's giveaway, Mr. Kuso, message me on Instagram. I think I have your information already, but still go ahead and message me and tell me, just in case I forget, because I may not actually ship it out right away, and then I go back into the messages and see, you know, who won. Just say that you won the Vulture Funko. And I think I already have your address, but Mr. Kuso, the winner for this week's Mystery Funko Pop giveaways. So congratulations, and thank you for everyone who watched and entered. Like I said, there's more to come. We have here Storm Enchanter saying congratulations, Mr. Q. Yomo, yes, it should be a fun show. Yes, hope definitely will be. There shouldn't be any technical issues because I'm using StreamYard now, so everything should move nice and smooth. Denise Taylor says congrats. Yomo, congrats, Mr. Queso or Mr. Kuso. So there you go. Congratulations, Mr. Kuso. Again, next week, next Saturday, I may have a guest in the Met Report. Next Saturday, January 13th?
Yes.
I may have a guest. And again, we're doing this mystery Funko Pop giveaway again next Saturday. So thank you so much for watching, Matthew. Thank you so much for being a part of this new episode of the Met Report, the very first one in 2024. Again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing and following. Make sure to check out the new episode, or the first episode, I should say, of Figures Talk tomorrow night, 8:30 Pacific time. All right, so that will be the end of today's stream, and have a great weekend, everyone. Hopefully, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Figures Talk.
Maybe.
Oh, and subscribe. Forgot to put that. All right. I'll see you guys.